Can you believe it? Hello, everybody, and welcome to an emergency edition of the PHLY Eagles podcast presented by Xfinity. And we're live in the Xfinity Lounge where we just wrapped up a regular show and got the news that Howie Roseman is still, there's no offseason for Howie. You think minicamp's over, you think summer has broken and everybody's going to be sitting on their hands, not in the Eagles building, not when Howie's in charge. Instead, he says, you two guys who just finished practice, you're out of here. And we're bringing in two.
Family day's over.
Family day is over for Chandler Martin. Unfortunately, very sad. Chandler Martin, who they've now done this with multiple times.
Yeah, I'll be back.
And poor Isaiah King, who's running all over the place with the third team linebackers. You got to go see Mr. Roseman, my friend, because we have signed not just the greatest of all time, Michael Jordan. Boy, is Jalen Hurts excited about this edition. But also an interesting signing on the edge, E.J. Epenesa.
Yeah.
Longtime edge for the Buffalo Bills, a former second-round pick. Actually, the same year that Jalen Hurts was drafted in the second round. Could have been the selection for the Eagles. Also able to kick inside. An interesting fit here for the Eagles. What do you make of, let's start with, his name is Epenesa. Go ahead, EJ. What do you think about him?
I think it's an interesting signing. I think he represents a solid early down rotational piece in the edge rusher rotation, which is what we talked about him as, when we went into free agency.
Oh yes, he was early and often, hot and heavy in quackatology.
I was about to say he made a run in quackatology because we felt like, I think it was Fran who said that.
That feels like decades ago.
Yes, it does. Fran said that E.J. Epenesa seemed like a good fit for Vic Fangio, which I think is always an important benchmark to keep in mind. And I think, when I look at him as a potential fit for the Eagles, that early down depth, guys who you feel like are going to hold up against the run, I think he does represent that. He'll turn 28 next season. I did want to mention, by the way, he was not only, picked around Jalen Hurts, the pick after Jalen Hurts in the 2020 NFL draft.
Good note. I'm thinking about the way that you said around makes me think of the Yo Mama joke from when we were kids. So I'm a kid.
I like the Yo Mama joke. I like the Yo Mama joke. And
she sits around the house. Sits around the house.
To be fair to E.J. Epenesa, I'm saying like he's an early down guy, somebody who you feel good about against the run. He had a down year in 2025. He only had 2.5 sacks in a lesser role for the Bills. But before that, he had 6.5 sacks in 2022, 6.5 sacks in 2023, 6 sacks in 2024. Yeah. So he has been at least a reasonably productive rotational edge rusher in his career.
I find it interesting just that how he's still focused on adding to this group. Given the addition of Jonathan Grenard, you've got Nolan Smith and Jalix Hunt. You've got Arnold Ebiketie, who you signed.
Yeah.
Now, Joe Tryon-Shoyinka, we should say, has not been at any of the spring work that we have seen.
Yeah.
I don't know what else is going on there. There might be more to that story. Hopefully everything is okay with him. But it could explain why the Eagles are interested here. They're different types of players, though.
Yeah, they are.
Because Tryon-Shoyinka is more, on the edge, living on the edge, and can play in space a little bit, can drop. Whereas Epenesa, you're thinking, can be an edge guy on early downs and maybe even kick inside on third down. It's a player with a profile that makes a lot of sense for this group, especially if you're wondering, if Ty Robinson can really be a factor. Do you need a fourth guy who can maybe rush from the inside? It's why I maybe read this as kind of bad news for Brandon Graham's chances of coming back, because it's a similar type of player to Brandon Graham.
Yeah, it's similar usage, you would imagine, for both of them. But I think that the Brandon Graham decision is in a vacuum.
Yeah,
it feels like if you can bring him back and the team wants to bring him back, obviously we know that he wants to be back. You would do it even if E.J. Epenesa is not going to get in the way of Brandon Graham. I would say that'd be my read on it.
That's also just very simple as this is a player who the Eagles have a pretty good grade on.
Yeah.
Now he was slated to sign with
the
Cleveland Browns.
I think it's important to keep this in mind with him that he failed, or not failed. The Browns were reportedly uncomfortable finalizing a 1-year, $5 million contract with E.J. Epenesa back in March because of his physical. So
And so the Eagles just look at this as an opportunity to sign a player who on the open market was worth $5 million, and now you're probably going to get him for a lot cheaper than that. So why not add him to the team?
Right. But, that is a question as we talk about, how's he going to fit on early downs? Can they move him inside? I think his health is going to be a question mark as he enters Philadelphia. And again, it'll be interesting to see what he looks like in training camp.
All right, let's move from Epenesa and remind you that with Xfinity, you can lock in your price for internet for 5 years. It's been just over 5 years since E.J. Epenesa and Jalen Hurts were drafted. We thank Xfinity for sponsoring this emergency podcast. And we talk now about, could you imagine Jalen Hurts being more excited about a depth signing for the Eagles, someone who's going to help the offensive line, and more importantly, someone named Michael Jordan.
It's funny because I was texting you and Sheila about Michael B. Jordan earlier today, and now it's come full circle.
Michael Jordan. Who is Michael Jordan? Michael Jordan is an offensive lineman, 6'6", 312, will be 29 years old, actually just 28 years old, and he is a guard by trade and has extensive starting experience. 49 career starts, started 9 games for the Bucks last year, was with the Patriots the year before that, entered the league with the Bengals, has played for the Panthers, so this is a guy who's been around the league, played in some different schemes, and I think we both agree this is an area where we thought the Eagles did need to add some depth in terms of the interior help, especially guys who can play guard, because right now you're looking at unproven players as backups. Yeah. You've got Drew Kendall potentially as a backup guard. They're moving Miles Hinton there. Michael Jordan helps you out there.
Yeah, I mean, he's been kind of around the team for the last few months. I think they had him in for the rookie minicamp tryouts. It was him and Isaiah Thomas, which was fun. And yeah, I think it makes sense to kind of counterbalance like the Drew Kendalls and the Miles Hintons of the world with a player like this, where it kind of reminds me, it's not a good example, but the Matt Hennessy signing a few years ago, where it's like you kind of want to offset a young player that you're developing at that spot with someone with experience. Obviously, Hennessy didn't work out, but I do think that thought process makes a lot of sense.
I just looking at the teams that he has played for.
Yeah.
It's not the most Shanahan-y system.
No.
Right?
I mean, Tampa last year.
Patriots. I guess Tampa was Grizzard.
Grizzard, yeah. So you've got a little bit, some cohab with that. Maybe Grizzard gave him a vote of confidence. But you got to get MJ in the building.
Is there a Pippen in the NFL the Eagles can sign?
Let's see. There's not currently.
Jarrell Pippins played from 2004 to 2005. Was born in Philadelphia, Jarrell Pippins.
Oh, so maybe he'd come out of retirement for the Eagles.
Is there a Kukoc in the NFL?
It's just going to turn into us. If we stay here long enough, we'll just be playing.
There is a Kerr. There's a Zach Kerr, of course. Remember the defensive tackle from Delaware.
A lot of Kerr mentions on the show today.
Is there a Wennington?
We could get a Rodman.
A Rodman. We get
Trinity.
Rod Woodson.
Trinity Rodman. She might play. She might be good at football.
Yeah, but I mean, too directly actually. Part of the Rodman family.
Yeah. Okay, so it has to be. I didn't know the rules of this made-up game.
It's got to be a Bobo version.
Bobo Rodman. We need a Bobo Rodman. It's a good baby name.
Is there a Harper? How about a Ron Harper?
I'm sure there's Harpers in the NFL. Thomas Harper, safety for the Detroit Lions. Could make that happen. There's a Roland Harper.
Truly, it is cruel for Howard to do this to these two guys who just finished the final.
No, I don't think it's cruel. I mean, how much more cruel would it have been to do it yesterday?
Like, what about tomorrow?
It's like right at the end of minicamp.
It's just very funny.
I think it's fine.
Now, Chandler Martin has now been signed and waived or released twice by the Eagles. He was originally signed. He's a linebacker at the end of March and then was released in the beginning of June and then re-signed 3 days later and then now released 6 days later. An early leader in the Eli Ricks transaction log.
I about to say, something tells me his time's not over with the Eagles. Something tells me.
Yeah,
the 91st,
they put stuff on tape.
The 92nd man.
The Eagles, they needed linebackers to get through camp, and now they don't. Because actually what that probably means is they will sign a different veteran linebacker before camp starts.
Or maybe you factor in Jihad Campbell getting snaps and
good point.
Yeah, that's how they got Chance Campbell. was because Jahad Campbell wasn't going to play in the third preseason game.
That's right.
They needed to add a linebacker, and now look how that benefited them. So
all right, so
always
there you have
working,
it.
Just like us.
All the information you needed about the Eagles adding A.J. Epenesa and Michael Jordan. What says championship more than adding Michael Jordan in June? Come on.
It's funny. The listeners might enjoy this at the end of the emergency pod. Now that we've unpacked the signings, I ordered sushi to the office because I was thinking like, I'll sit here, get my work done, grab the sushi, go on my way home. And I was a little worried about the sushi. You know, like, is it going to be sitting outside? But the delivery is late. Perfect timing. Like, this synced up so well. So
I think the Eagles should offer in the next round of raising money in an auction for EAF, an experience, sushi with Gucci.
I'm out.
You have to go to a nice fancy omakase with Kapenega chicken. Sushi with Gucci. I'm in for $5,000.
I'm sure you are. I'm sure you would be.
All right, that'll do it for this emergency podcast presented by Xfinity. A.J. Epenesa
and Michael
Jordan are here. Oh, we got to cut this. We got to cut a clip here. All right, we're going to cut a clip live. You ready for this? Let's make it happen. 3, 2. It's June 10th, but Howie Roseman's not done adding to the team. He signs Michael Jordan, a guard with starting experience, to buttress the Eagles' offensive line depth. And A.J. Epenesa, a former second-round pick of the Buffalo Bills, had been slated to join the Cleveland Browns on a one-year, $5 million deal before injuries made the Browns back out. Howie swooping in and adding to a group that includes Jonathan Grenard, Jalix Hunt, Nolan Smith, and Arnold Ebiketie. Howie Roseman, never off the job, always working for your Philadelphia Eagles.
Best host in the city. I was just like the class clown trying not to laugh during that buttress. It was real delivery on buttress.
And here's why that's bad news for Jalen Hurts.
Michael Jordan in the building? There's only room for one MJ in that building.
He's like, Jalen like sidles up and starts asking him questions about, hey, what was it like when, it's really running. Sponge up that information. All right, that'll do it. Thanks for watching and listening, everybody. Thank you to Lindsay for making it happen behind the scenes. A quick turn emergency pod on a June 10th Wednesday for all of us here. We thank you for watching. We'll be back with our regularly scheduled 2 o'clock show on Thursday for all of us here. We'll see you tomorrow. And as always, we love you.
We all silly like the mayor.